Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and join us for Hungary versus France. We're back in Group F, the group of death. In the first rounds of games, the French beat the Germans and the Portuguese beat the Hungarians. So France in that position. We've seen a lot of teams in during their second round of games where qualification can be confirmed. Remember, with the head-to-head as well, that lead over Germany, if the French can win today, would be decisive there, and they could see off the Hungarians in the same way. Hungary, obviously, on 0 points. So they wouldn't even need to use the head-to-head. Looking forward to this one. Let me know that you can see me, hear me loudly and clearly. Say hello over in the comments. And of course, that's where you can have your say, share your knowledge, drive the debate. We're going to read the best ones. Welcome, Napper's Mum, Leeds 2021, Tom R. We said hi to Liam, Mr. E, a less stressful day today. Hi to Chris and everybody else in the chat there. Welcome. And hopefully we look forward to seeing the French today. Quick hello to Best English School out there in Nagoya, Japan. Welcome. And Brian, no doubt a proud Scottish fan after excellent performance by the Scots to hold the English last night. Welcome, Nick, as well. Right, let's get into this now. Really enjoyed watching the French the other night, beating the Germans. Didn't sit there and try and dominate possession or anything. They were quite methodical, but then once they won that ball back with Rabiot or Kante and got it to Pogba, then it was Griezmann, Mbappe, and Benzema up top. Really good players to watch with the fullbacks getting forward. We've got a change in the fullback positions. So look, let's get into the teams right now, and you can let me know what you think. And also let me know your ones to watch. Let's do the Hungarians first. Gulácsi of Leipzig in goal. Botka, Ferencváros. Orban of Leipzig also. So club teammates there, 1 and 6. And Szalai of Fenerbahce. That is Attila. Remember, up top, you're going to get Adam. In the midfield, a familiar name there. Adam Nagy of Bristol City. To his left, Schaffer, and to his right, Klein Heisler. The wing-backs, Nejo, he came on as a sub against Portugal. And Fiola, they both played for the same club, MOL Fehevar. So a few good club link-ups here, let's just say. Keeper and centre half are teammates, so are both wing-backs. The captain, Szalai, and Salai of Mainz and Freiburg up the top there for the Hungarians, who stuck in there, didn't they, until well deep into the last 10 minutes before the Portuguese managed to smash in 3 goals to really, well, undermine that good first 84, 85 minutes for the Hungarians. Let's have a look at the Hungarian bench. Bogdan, we're familiar with. Dibus, Levencic, Keshes, Lang, Sherry, Seeger, Varga, Hollander, Nikolic, Sean, who had the ball in the net, didn't he? Disallowed for offside in the game against Portugal. And Varga, stadium in Budapest, would have gone absolutely crazy if that goal had stood. Let me know your thoughts on that Hungary team. Any players to watch? Who do we need to look out for there? And here are the French. One change at left back. Digne in for Hernandez. Hernandez did actually set up the goal. So Lloris in goal of Spurs, the captain. Pavard and Digne, the fullbacks today of Bayern Munich and Everton. So we get a third Premier League player in that team. Varane and Kimpembe at the back of Real and PSG. The brilliant Kante of Chelsea in front of the back four. Rabiot for Juve. And Pogba of Manchester United, who really is fun to watch when he plays for France, isn't he? And then, look, SofaScore have got it as Griezmann as a 10 and Benzema and Mbappe up top. It wasn't really like that, was it? Griezmann was picking up all sorts of pockets. Mbappe was generally pulling left rather than right, wasn't he? And being in that channel down that side with Benzema more often than not in the number 9 position. And there were times when it gets quite frightening when you have Pogba surging up behind and they form into a front 3 with Benzema central, Griezmann to his right and Mbappe to his left. And of course, just look out for the freakish physicality of Mbappe. I don't think we've seen a player of that elegance and touch with that level of speed and physicality. He really is quite something. Mbappe, the France number 10. On the bench, Maignan, Mandanda, Hernandez, who obviously started the first game, Dubois, Koundé, Langlais, Lemar, Sissoko, Thuram, Tolisso, Dembele, and Giroud. But that French 11, absolutely stacked. Let me know your ones to watch for either side. Let me know how you think this is going to go. You can get a prediction in. The French, obviously, are hot favourites, but that Budapest crowd really did help the Hungarians the other day against Portugal. Before we go to the comments, make sure you hit like, thumbs up, whichever platform you're watching on. It takes a second. Really helps drive people to our channel. And the live subscriber number is 17,376. I recognise that guy. Referee Oliver in charge today. I don't have to look that one up. Good luck to him, one of our English refs. Please hit subscribe, ring the bell. 24 away from me being able to change that ticker down there and going to 17.4K. And as usual, we thank each and every one of you. One last plug. You can support via Super Chat or Super Stickers. Hit that dollar button by the live chat. We'll read out all the Super Chats. They're a great way to send a little tip. If you imagine I'm your waiter and you enjoyed my service, give us a little tip. Why not? Just helps support everything we're doing here. Let's get to some comments in here. Brian, looking at those Hungarian teams, as ever, Germany is the place, isn't it? A couple of Leipzig players in there, Mainz and Freiburg as well. Have people calmed down after yesterday's performance? Not yet, Liam. The worst time is straight after the game, isn't it, with England? And then the anger and the emotion then kind of alters into what's the word? Prediction and suggestion as to what will happen in the next game. But I'm sure we'll get on to that. Pogba, one to watch. He was great fun in the last game. Beautiful pass, wasn't it? For that opening goal. Who would I prefer us to play in the 16s? Well, this is the question now, isn't it? Whereby, and I don't want to get too stuck on England because we'll talk about them all week, I'm sure. But England are now in a position where if they play for a draw against the Czechs and do draw against the Czechs, they're guaranteed to finish in second position, which at the moment I think would mean they faced Sweden. Is that right? Yeah, second in Group D versus second in Group E. Of course, that could end up being Spain. Whereas if they win the group, they play second in Group F, which at the moment is France, because the Portuguese are top of that group. Either way, we think, especially if the Portuguese don't lose to the Germans today, it will be Portugal or France. So not going to be easy whatever happens. And there is a scenario where these three in this group, Portugal, Germany, France, can all reach the semi-final. In fact, I think I had that in my prediction. The only one really known to this channel, Adam Narge. There you go. Hope Hungary fans were as loud, says Charlie, versus Portugal. Mbappe, speed and physicality reminds me of R9. Great shout. The original Ronaldo, as Jose Mourinho talks about. Yeah, I know what you mean. Just that phenomenal, and it's so exciting when he gets on the move as well, isn't it? Mbappe, an absolute force of nature. What a star he is. Just bang through these teams one more time. So Gulassi, Botka, Orban, Shazali, Viola and Nejo are the wing-backs. Kleinheiser, Narge of Bristol City, Schaffer in the midfield. The other Shazali and Salai up top. For the French, Lloris, Pavard, Varane, Kimpembe, Digne, Pogba, Kante, Rabiot, Griezmann, Mbappe, Benzema. What a scary, scary top end the French have got. We're in Budapest. It is referee Oliver, who we are familiar with indeed. Second place in England's group will place second in Spain's group. Sweden in all likelihood. It's interesting, actually, if we finish third, Spain, Belgium or Holland, if they win their groups, absolutely. What's interesting, I think we learned about England against the Scots. England would probably almost prefer to play a team that's not going to sit off them. They really struggled when the Scots just said, come on then, what have you got? And we'll press you a bit and we'll sit in when we need to. England didn't have the answers, did they? There we go. And here, hoping for a Varane clean sheet. You might well get one as well, Annie. Terrifying front three for France. It's great, isn't it? And I love the balance of it as well, Bart, with Griezmann just lurking about, playing the ball, threading it through. Benzema, proper number 9, and your wild card of Mbappe, who can just do anything, can't he? I did see the Brereton goal last night, Liam. Brereton Diaz, we're now supposed to call him. Ben Brereton, formerly of Forest, over at Blackburn now. I think they spent a pretty penny on him, didn't they? Into the box, touch, finish with the right foot for the Chilean national team. Well done, Ben Brereton. Great stuff. Predictions, guys. If you're in the chat, get your predictions in for this one. It is Hungary versus France. We'll stick 0-0 up as we're about to start. There is the excellent Antoine Griezmann of France. And there is the captain for the Hungarians, Shazali. And there is the main man, Kylian Mbappe. Get your predictions in before we start, then I can hold you all to account. And let's try and enjoy this one. Hungary versus France in Budapest. It is day 9. So I think we'll be up to watch along 17 by the end of the day. There is the excellent Paul Pogba, who really looked in the mood, didn't he, the other night? And so did that guy, Kante, who's just must be awful to play against Kante. God. Let's have a look at your comments, see if we get any predictions coming in. We're heavy on France here. 3-0 says Leeds 2021. Mr. Reeve agrees. 2-0 France, 2-0 France. Love the balance in the whole lineup. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Yeah, the midfield makeup's lovely, isn't it? 2-0 France, 2-0 France. So we are heavily behind the French. We have just kicked off, by the way. I'm just going to quickly bring the table up just so we all know where we stand beforehand. So a French win would take them to 6 points, and it would mean that neither the Germans or the Hungarians could finish above the French. Only then the Portuguese could, and they play the Germans later. So France would qualify, of course, if they won. If Hungary were to be able to get the win, you could have just added a point on each. So add another 2 on to Hungary, and then you could take 1 off the French there. We'd all be on 3 points going into the 5 p.m. game between Portugal and Germany that we'll be watching here on the channel. And another chance. There may not be many more to see the great Cristiano Ronaldo later on. He was up to his old tricks the other day, looking fairly quiet. And then when the game finishes, we're all talking about Ronaldo again, aren't we? What a player. What a career, hey? Right, free kick to the French. If anyone wants a timestamp, let me know. I'm at 1 minute 14. I'm watching on a BBC TV feed. If you're an iPlayer, you may be behind me. if you're on TV, you may be slightly ahead with the YouTube delay that gets added on. Kante, Benzema, Varane, Kimpembe in the centre circle. Here's Kante protecting that ball. There's very few do better than him. Digne plays it back into Kimpembe. And Varane out to Pavard down in the right back position. France just knocking it across the back four. Rabiot gets a feel. The Juventus central midfielder. I guess he's the glue, isn't he? They've essentially got a 6, 8 and a 10 in that midfield, although Pogba is not playing as a 10. But they've got that type of balance, haven't they? Defensive, box-to-box and an attacking midfielder. 2:15 gone. Nothing of note occurring yet. Foul on Nejo. And the Hungarians take the restart. Here is Botka. Tries to play up the line there. Out it goes. Going to throw in for Hungary. Mbappe, as we suggested, just pulling out to the left-hand side. It's very hybrid, this formation. If you think about it, we'll nod it down. Now, here comes Fiola, the left wing-back, and he's knocked it into the channel. Oh, there's surely a foul there by Varane. It's going to be a free kick to the Hungarians. Salai was fouled by Varane. Might get a yellow card for that, actually. Not much with his feet there. I don't think referee Oliver has booked him. Free kick to the Hungarians. And they'll be able to stick this into the box. Can they wake up this Budapest stadium and take the lead here? They just couldn't get in front against the Portuguese despite all the noise. Have to say, looks like there's plenty of French in the stadium from what we can see. In comes the cross, headed away. I just wanted to say about that French formation that it can so easily be the sort of diamond midfield type thing and tight behind the ball. But when they do sort themselves out into that order with Benzema, Mbappe left, Griezmann right, it's 4-3-3 shape, advance Pogba and get Benzema right up top. It's a 4-2-3-1. They really, really are a hybrid of several things, the French. And look, can't believe I'm going to do it. I'm going to quote Paul Lambert. Sometimes it is as simple as players win your games rather than whatever shape they're in. Sometimes we obsess over them, don't we? Welcome, Paddy. Liam's getting vaccinated. It's your first one, Liam. I assume it is. I'm getting my second one on July the 29th. 1 week before the child is due. Let's see whether that appointment still goes ahead. $5:13 on the clock. Bit of a stoppage there, so we're probably going to get bit added on at the end of the first half here. Throw in to the Hungarians. Chris is getting his second one. Same day. There you go. All vaccinated here. Ben quoting Paul Lambert. Did you know Paul Lambert used to play for Borussia Dortmund, who are a massive club? We'll quote him again. Griezmann throws that into Varane, who I think, if that had been later in the game, may have got booked for that foul a few minutes ago, but referee Oliver gives him that early in the game pass that players sometimes get. Pavard. Switch played by Griezmann. Kimpembe. Kimpembe looking into the channel for Lucas Digne. Ben should get Paul Lambert in a road trip series. Don't quite think that would be as entertaining as Michael Richards, would it? Oh, no, that's another thing that Paul Lambert doesn't mention quite often enough, does he? That he won the Champions League, eh? I think we were discussing the other day, being Chris Waddle didn't actually win it with Marseille, did he? First British player probably to win it with an overseas club. Anyway, enough of Mr. Lambert, who I'm sure will sweet talk his way into another job at some point. Here's Griezmann. Well, you say Paul Lambert didn't take Ipswich up with one of the best squads in the league. If they had one of the best squads, why have 4 of their players just gone to Colchester and gone down a league? I'm not sure they did have one of the best squads after all. Certainly didn't play like it, did they? Kante. Oh, good feet by Kante. Brilliant. Pavard up the line. Pogba. And Chazelle gets their first corner to the French. Chris Waddle was born in the same areas. We've got a player Chris Waddle was, hey? Played in some great teams as well, Waddle. That Spurs team. And then when he came back and was just incredible for Sheffield Wednesday. Brilliant player. Griezmann. Going to take the corner from the right-left footy. Griezmann puts it in. Headed away by big Chazelle Adam. That is the forward, not Attila. The Hungarian centre half. I think they've all gone down here, haven't they? Skew, Sears, Chambers, and Judge as well. It says a lot, doesn't it, when they're off to play in League Two. Although I know sometimes it's just stay in the area and keep playing, isn't it? Especially if you've got children. Don't want to move them around. 20 minutes extra down the A12 and you're in Colchester. Anyway, enough Ipswich. Fiola down the line. Salai has started the game really well. Salai, the Freiburg striker. And out comes the yellow card for referee Oliver, who's saying that Pavard has completed 2 fouls now. One over there, one over here, he says. Yellow card for Benjamin Pavard, Bayern Munich fullback. And yeah, I was just saying, Salai started the game well, the Freiburg striker. You know, in this type of game, get in the channels, draw fouls. What can you do? In comes the free kick driven in. Benzema on the near post, gets a foot on it. Hungary was one of my first Sabutio teams. Sensational. Remember they once put 10 goals away in España at 82. Beautiful. You see some beautiful Sabutio collections. Don't you? Crossed in. Lloris, good catch. Botka jumped with him. That was a harsh yellow. Do you know what, Chris? I thought Varane was more likely to get a yellow, but referee Oliver on the totting up process, I guess. What is it down in the laws? Persistent foul play. I don't know if 2 fouls is persistent, is it? I guess it is. Why is your tournament programme not arrived yet, Liam? That's not good. Afternoon, QPR forever. Channel regular. The French haven't quite got into this yet, have they? Although, took the Portuguese 84 minutes or 85 minutes, whatever it was, to get in front against this Hungarian side, or 90% of this Hungarian side. Got a few changes. 1 or 2, actually, I think. Rabiot. Kimpembe in the centre circle. France, 59% of the possession so far. Here's Mbappe, who we love to watch, don't we? That's poor from Mbappe. He's robbed easily. He's managed to win a foul. Adam Naj has a word. Yeah, he did get caught, to be fair. But he tried a Cruyff turn and completely missed it. Mbappe just limping slightly, which will be good news for everyone who might play France, but bad news for us neutrals when we're watching them. Kimpembe. Varane. Pavard on a yellow card. Pogba. Pavard. Kante. Pavard. Pogba. Pogba. Nice idea. Just tried to feed it into Benzema. Just overhit it there. Does look like the type of game for the invention of someone like Pogba. And there's a lovely clip in. Benzema knocks it off, crossed in low, cleared by Orban, who was lucky not to be red carded, I have to say, in the game against Portugal. Conceded a penalty, denied an obvious goal scoring opportunity, and didn't appear to make a deliberate attempt to play the ball inside the box. I was certain he was going to get red carded, and he didn't. Mbappe, edge of the box. Benzema. Benzema drives it low. Griezmann. Oh, what a miss. Oh, I don't believe it. I was just about to say Griezmann sticks the follow-up into the back of the net, but from 6 or 7 yards out, Griezmann has not scored that one. It's a good effort by Benzema, saved by Gulassi. Wonder if we're going to see an offside flag here. One went up in the end. Oh, yeah, Griezmann is offside. Still a hell of a miss anyway from 6, 7, 8 yards. He would have been offside anyway. Mbappe. Oh, a lovely little scoop by Mbappe. Rabiot, who's annoyed. Mbappe didn't get a free kick there. Down the line it goes to Griezmann, who will say, I knew I was offside, so I didn't stick it in the net anyway. Pogba. Varane. And out it goes to Digne. The unison clap going from the Hungarians behind the goal. Brilliant stuff. Kante. Oh, nice drive by Kante. Kante into the box, tries to poke it through for Benzema. Nearly took them all out by himself. Thoughts on safe standing? I'm sure one of the stadiums we were watching the other day, you're looking behind it was at the Bayern Stadium. Must have been the France and Germany game. I'm sure that had safe standing behind the goal. 15 gone, Hungary 0, France 0. Pretty even. No big chances of note if we consider that Griezmann was offside. Benzema hit the shot from the edge of the area. Best chance of the game. Very, very low on the XG though. 0 for Hungary. 0.03 as things stand for the French. Those numbers will grow. Shazalo into Naj. Bit of space for the Bristol City man. Feeds it out left to Schaffer. A good build up by the Hungarians. Blocked out in the end. Here's Schaffer again. Gets a bit carried away with himself. So it's Kleinheisler. Shoots from absolutely miles out and it just dribbles through to Lloris. I'm seeing lots of topless Hungarian men in the stand there. Should we say it's warm? Hit that like button. Yeah, absolutely. Do that, please. Hit the thumbs up button, whichever platform you are watching on. Help drive people to the stream. Varane. Kimpembe. Hungary all back behind the ball. Rabiot. Benzema down the line for Digne. Digne crosses left-footed, headed goalwards. Oh, and it's just wide. Mbappe holds his head. Great cross by Digne, who's been giving them for Dominic Calvert-Lewin all season, hasn't he? Oh, you think he would score that one? Mbappe arrives onto it perfectly, unchallenged, and just guides it around the post. Keeper's not getting there. Izzy, best chance of the game by far for Kylian Mbappe, and he just heads it wide of the post. Close, but no cigar. Welcome, Sean. Oof. Is that an oof? It's not a wow, is it? What do we think of Cameron Jerome to Luton? I normally trust the Luton recruitment, blah, blah, blah. Chris. So I'm sure there's a plan for him, and obviously James Collins has gone. Hugely experienced and therefore potentially very knowledgeable player, Jerome, at championship level. Certainly be a valuable squad member, even if he's not starting every week. Especially to help out Adebayo. Throw in to the French. Pavard is going to take it. Griezmann. Benzema. Outside of the right foot. Switch of play. Clipped in. Digne tries to get up the line. Here's Mbappe. Mbappe crosses it in. It's going to go loose and the Hungarian's clear. Bit of a body check there by Kimpembe. Knew what he was doing. And poor old Salai is down again. What about Henry Lansbury? It's just about rehabilitating certain players, isn't it? Because if you get the Lansbury that was Forest captain that went on that big contract at Aston Villa, it's a great signing, isn't it? But he's played so little football, couldn't get up and running at Bristol City last season. But Luton seem to be that club that will say, you know, look, we'll take you and we'll give you a go. Let's see if they can get a tune out of him. And if they don't, you know, Nathan Jones, he won't stick him in the team, will he? He had Tom Ince on loan and he barely got on the pitch, did he? So interesting one. And you'd think, knowing Luton, it'd be a sensible contract that isn't going to cost them the earth if he doesn't play. There's a player in there, though. And that best spell. Forest, I would suggest. Out it goes, wide right, Pavard. Pogba, touch. Pogba shields the ball, comes inside. Rabiot. Varane, Kimpembe. 62% possession now for the French. Building it up a little bit. Big clip into the box, headed down by Digne. Benzema, lovely chest down and volley cross. Excellent play from Karim Benzema. And Mbappe's in the middle again, heads over again. Lovely idea from Benzema. Chest, and just before it lands, just half volleys. Far more difficult header for Mbappe. Lovely idea, though. Johansson deal stalled with the uncertainty. You'd imagine that'll get signed off when the new manager is unveiled, or when Parker leaves, and etc. etc. It's frustrating, isn't it? Ipswich, you've got a similar one at the moment with Raheem Harper and West Brom, where the deal's ready, but it's always the wonder that a manager will come in and veto it completely, isn't it? Although with West Brom, you think the owners make the final call on most of these things, don't you? You're very welcome, Sean. Whatever happened to Kodja? What did happen to him? Went to Villa for a ton of money, didn't he? But That's that incredible season. It was January, wasn't it? All these players we're naming: Codger, Hogan, Lansbury, Hurahan, Bree. They literally just scooped up all the best players playing at small to mid-sized championship clubs who couldn't afford to refuse their offer. Pogba plays it across. Do you think Harvey Barnes would have been in the England squad? I'm a big fan of Harvey Barnes. The difficult thing is he's another wide forward attacking midfielder. Would he have been ahead of all of those names? I suppose Bukayo Saka got in. That would have been the sort of position he could have played, though. Schaffer has been penalised by referee Oliver. Ripped us apart one match. Not the only one, Dave. Remember him playing beautifully against Ipswich for West Brom. Harvey Barnes. Schaffer a foul. Pogba. Free kick. France. Long way out for a shot, this one. $22.50 on the clock. Fairly tepid stuff so far. The French are probably edging it, aren't they? Especially with that Mbappe header. One thing's for certain, we're going to get plenty of injury time. There's a good question, Brian. Any ex-Ipswich players in the Euro squad? The players are all coming over for a drinks break. Must be warm there today. There's a Hungarian player down. Hope he's okay. Ex-Ipswich players, yes. Tyrone Mings, obviously. Johnny Williams, Kiefer Moore. Who else? Ryan Fraser. Is that all of them? Someone will get one that I haven't got. But yeah, a few in there. Yeah, Johnny Williams covers a multitude of sins. There is quite a few, but a few of the ones I just said were low knees. Other than Kiefer Moore and Tyrone Mings. Shazalai, the number 9, is up. Looks a little bit groggy, so I hope he's okay. I think there might even be 4 to 5 minutes stoppage time after the first half. He's taken the armband off. He's going off. Adam Shazalai, I think. He doesn't look in a good way to continue. Do I own a football shirt? I've got a couple of old Ipswich ones. No, you very rarely see me wearing a football shirt. God, I haven't bought one for years. I know lots of people collect them, don't they? But no, lots of people ask me that, actually. Here he is. Bits. Jumped on France to win this game. But they've got to score 3 goals by the look of it. Paddy hasn't had time to watch the England-Scotland review. Thought England were bad last night. Yeah, I spent much of the time just trying to block out all of the extremities of the noise. And believe me, it was extreme, especially last night. But look, England were underwhelming. Scotland were better than we thought they might be. Mbappe, free kick. Mbappe puts it in to the wall. You get funny stares in Waitrose with a football. Just stop it, bits. Although we did go to Marks and Spencer's this morning. That one's into the wall. Ouch. One smashed into the face there. Number 23 He must just have come on, actually. I must have missed that for Shazali. Yeah, it's Nikolic. Poor guy's had a bump of his own now. The substitute comes on and takes one in the face straight away. Nikolic, who came on to replace Shazali. Nikolic, 33 years old, plays for MOL Fehavar. I think he's going to be the third one of their players playing in this game. Restart, which Kante takes. Down the line it goes. Pavard, good cover by Schaffer, who wins the ball and wins the throw-in. Here comes Salai, who's looked a useful forward, the Freiburg striker. He's going up against Kimpembe there, who does well. Surely Schaffer has fouled Kimpembe. Who could you see coming into Fulham? Eddie Howe, I've heard. You know the names that are getting linked. Who else that, Plucky? It'll be Howe. It'll be Wilder. Lampard. The usual suspects at the moment. Saw the review earlier. Performance was not good enough if England want to do well in the tournament. Well, if England perform exactly the same way with exactly the same players in all of the games, then I would agree they won't win the tournament. They won't. And I suspect there will be changes in personnel and style. Maybe that could be the worst performance by England at the tournament and they'll get better from now. Who knows? Welcome, Barney. A Derby County shell suit. Nice. Is it coming home, Russ? Everyone seems to be getting upset with that song now, don't they? Not quite understanding the self-deprecating, ironic nature of it, but what are you going to do? I'm always one for taking things literally, so. Hungary holding strong at the back. Could be tricky for a lot of teams, yeah. But the Swedes in the same bracket. Do I think the Fulham director of football is responsible for Parker leaving? And Jukanovic getting it? I don't know. You hear lots of funny things about that setup with, there he is, Tony Khan. Pass. Scott Parker certainly doesn't appear enamoured with it. Varane wins it back. Kimpembe goes back into centre half. Varane up the line. Pavard, Griezmann, touch. 30 minutes gone. We're going to get loads of stoppage time, though. Griezmann into the box. Benzema knocks it off. Oh, big chance. It was Mbappe who knocked it off. Benzema on the half volley. Deschamps looks a bit stressed by that. It was just past the post. They could well be out front here now. Clever play by Mbappe and Benzema. We're going to get a really good angle now. It's a lovely touch, that, isn't it? And he just shins it a little bit, doesn't he? What a pass by Mbappe. Yeah, he slices that one. Doesn't get that on the instep of his foot. Slices it wide. Another chance for the French. For all of this talk about the Hungarians being stoic and solid at the back. French could have got a couple already. Through Mbappe and Benzema. Who, obviously, if you keep giving them chances, will score. Pavard down the right. Pavard, horrible cross. It's gone out for a goal kick. from the Bayern right back. £200 in the club shop bits. And you think it's me that shops in Waitrose, is it? Eh? Deary me. Where do you think Parker will go after Fulham? Bournemouth looks odds on, doesn't it, Russ? Lots of links. What play by Mbappe? It was an interesting one, wasn't it? Very unique pass. Apparently, the England team in '66 were booed off. Oh God! Sir Bobby in 1990 was 0-0s and 1-0s all the way through until the Cameroon, wasn't it? I'm trying to think. Belgium was a very late 1-0. Cameroon was exciting, wasn't it? 3-2. You drew with Egypt, didn't they? Or did they beat Egypt? Drew with Republic of Ireland. I can't remember all the group games in the World Cup. 90. They played the Dutch as well. Mbappe, brilliant work from Mbappe. Beats his man. He beats two. And then he drags it wide with the right foot. Oh, you can't get near him when he's like that, can you? Inside. Oh! Takes out 3 Hungarian defenders. He drags the shot wide, though. Look at those feet. And then the quick acceleration. Just drags it wide. He's a real one, isn't he? A mention for Enzo Schifo there. What a player he was. Brilliant stuff. I did the group stage. You were there, were you, Dave? That sounds brilliant. I love that World Cup. What a player, indeed. It's in there, stuck in the right back area there. Going to be a free kick. Dominic getting the same vibe from Italy. France as when they last won the World Cup. France best watch out. Yeah, Italy have started well, haven't they? I know it sounds like the blindingly obvious, but you know in the knockout stages, one bad game, one bad 10-minute spell in a game, one bad refereeing decision, you're out, aren't you? Tournament football really kicks in very soon, doesn't it? Digne. Here comes Mbappe with space in front of him. Mbappe. Benzema, Griezmann's over. He can't find him. The Hungarians holding firm, but France are now looking quite dangerous, aren't they? Griezmann. Inside right position out to Pavard. Here comes Rabiot with Digne down the left. Rabiot cuts inside, crosses it, right-footed, chest down. Ooh, Griezmann, was it? Goes down in the box. Or was it Benzema? Referee Oliver says nothing. And now Benzema into the box, tries to bustle his way through. Ooh, Hungary are, in the words of Steve Tyler, living on the edge here, aren't they? Look at those Hungarian fans behind the goal, though. Brilliant. They don't care, do they? Kimpembe. Kante. Varane. Pavard. All France at the moment. Pavard. Griezmann. Such a useful player in this setup, Griezmann. Pops up here, there and everywhere and always uses the ball well. Pavard, Pogba into the side netting. Really narrow angle for Pogba, but he's capable of pulling something ridiculous off from there, isn't he? Into the side netting. Bus driver nearly reversed over a cliff. Stop it. Deary me. Goal kick to Hungary. 36 gone. Gulaski. Let me know what you think on this one. If I'm a Hungarian, I'll be happy to get to half-time at 0-0 at the moment, because you would think the first goal is going the French way if this pattern continues in any way vaguely like the same way. Griezmann is pants, is he? Okay, I'll give my normal. I'll ask back a question. Mankind 081. Name me a player worse than Griezmann, and name me a player better than Griezmann, and name me another player who you think is pants, just so I can get some context of what pants means. Context is king. Griezmann. Pogba. Dummies. Comes inside. Walking pace from Pogba. Kante. Kimpembe. Rabiot. Oh, Griezmann tries to slip that one through. Blocked out. When did Portugal break down Hungary? 84 minutes, I think it was. But once the floodgates opened, they very, very much were opened. Hungary should be targeting Pavard, says Coyle. We did see Salai, the forward, running the channel, so that appears to be the only way. The issue is they've got to get the ball back before they can target anyone. France are now build up 66% possession. 7 shots to 1 in this game. One thing you can guarantee, England fans will always overreact. That's the deal. Gareth Southgate knows that. Harry Kane knows that. All of us know that. It's just difficult, isn't it? I mean, even with a platform the size of mine, I think the key thing is for us, yes, there is a lot of truth in what people were saying about England, but we need to try and get the sense of balance for sure. Don't we? XG check, 0.92 to 0.03 in favour of the French, as you would imagine. Here is Naj, 39 gone. A rare bit of possession here for the Hungarians. It's possession in the centre-back area, nearly given away there to, of all people, Mbappe. Griezmann, nice little scoop. Kante, volleyed pass. Benzema flicks it back. Kante, great stuff here. Benzema in low, looking for Mbappe. And they nearly put together a nice unorthodox movement there. There is something in that, Liam. The idea, and I tried to mention this in my review, that people are wising up now about how good England are, how good Croatia are, how good Scotland are. Their powers up. And everyone underestimated the Czechs as well, didn't they? Here is Kante and Varane. Most bizarre managerial decision. I mean, this is the sort of thing we get to with England, isn't it? Where we're analysing the corner taker and the substitution so minutely. Look, Sterling's a lightning rod, isn't he? Danik goes to the right-hand side. Benzema tries to cross. It's a goal kick. Sterling's game for Manchester City He's very good at timing his runs and finishing in a team that has a ton of possession and gets loads of players forward. So, yes, Sterling was quiet yesterday. So was Kane. So were virtually the whole team. But in deference to Sterling, there's not a lot of point him being on the pitch if you're not going to get men forward and let him play the game that he, frankly, has won a lot of Premier League titles playing. So, yeah, I understand the argument. You want the pace in the team, but and again, England hardly were knocking it behind for Sterling to chase. So, yes, Sterling was ineffective, as were many England players last night. But there is a systematic wrinkle to that, where you can almost say, well, how is it Sterling's fault if he's literally got a skill set and it's not utilised? Very similar with Harry Kane as well, where Spurs under Mourinho were funneling things through the middle of the pitch and allowing him to come short. And yes, I get it. Son is very good. But yeah, not to his skill set either. Here come the Hungarians down the left-hand side. Oh, the shot's driven in by Salah. Hits his own guy. Does City win titles because of Sterling or despite? I think you mean in spite of Sterling. Look, no one wins a title because of one player. And I don't necessarily think that has much relevance to the conversation. If you flip it on its head, though, Raheem Sterling is successful doing a job in a team that won the Premier League and got to the Champions League final. Therefore, he's a very high caliber footballer who can operate at a high level. And we have lots and lots of evidence of that. There's always a lightning rod. I'm just pleased for our friend Mr. Mings, who was getting all the stick now. Seems to be going towards Harry Kane, unfortunately, now, doesn't it? There'll always be one player. But yeah, look like there's a few systematic problems for England. Here's Kante. I want to read that one out. I'm going to leave that one up the screen. The ball's gone there quickly. England have so many creative players, yet can't create chances. They depend on set plays. That I totally agree with. That sometimes, particularly in international football, where you don't get to mould your own squad. And I say this a lot because my team, Ipswich, is a bit of a weird comparison, but I'll make it. We're supposed to be dominant in League One and tried to knock it around and, play nice football. Just weren't good enough to do it. Couldn't coach it. Players couldn't do it. And you get to the point where you say, well, look, just play effective football then. Defend, press, run around, get the ball forward. That sometimes can be more effective. I'm not suggesting England should do that. But if you try and please everybody's style, in the end, you have what's the saying? A horse designed by committee is a camel. Here is Mbappe down the left, makes space, dinks it up. Goal kick. So yeah, there's a lot to figure out for from the English point of view. I get the idea that Foden and Grealish might not start together, but I do agree with those people saying he could have done it last night, couldn't he? Because it was a slow-paced game, and you could have got Grealish sort of stood on the ball and Foden the other side. So, and I'll preface all of this, or preface, whatever the word, meaning say something afterwards, by saying it is the impossible job, isn't it? And England still haven't conceded a goal and do still have 4 points. But yes, it's... now here come the Hungarians. They're in behind, into the box. Oh, and the Hungarians have taken the lead in stoppage time. Oh, what an upset on here. We're into first half stoppage time, and the left back, Fiola, has scored. He's come over and trashed someone's desk. Look at the limbs. Look at that in the Budapest Stadium. Some proper WWE stuff there, smashing up the Spanish announce desk. Brilliant stuff. Go on, Hungary. Hungary won, France 0. Didier Deschamps looks there and thinks, how on earth has that happened? A complete sucker punch by the Hungarians. Overload down the left, and Fiola, the left wing back, has scored. It was nodded on. He just gets the run, I think, on Pavard. Shout out to whoever it was in the chat that said target Pavard. Fiola into the box. Varane can't catch him. Sticks it in the corner. Lloris isn't saying that one. And it's 1-0 to the Hungarians. Anybody see that one coming? Oh, God. There was me saying about 10 minutes ago, Hungary will be pleased to get in at half-time at 0-0. They're going to be going in at half-time 1-0 up. And the limbs in the stadium there. Go on, Hungary. Let's just go to the live league table. Deschamps is rightfully furious. There's no way his team should be behind. First real effort on goal for the Hungarians, but they stuck it in the back of the net. Look at the scenes in the stadium. Go on, Hungary. Brilliant stuff. And live league table now. Look at that. 3-3-3. And the Portuguese and the Germans are both thinking, I might fancy a draw tonight, maybe. Unbelievable. Hungary won, France 0, just before half-time. Woof. Let's have a look at your comments on that. We're all lamenting England. And then we get that one. Beautiful. Go on, Hungary. Unbelievable. Targeted Pavard. Should be 4-1. That's football for you. Good advantage by Oliver. Great time to score. You love to see it, don't you? Maybe the point against Scotland was not that bad. Yeah, God, imagine England losing to Hungary at Wembley. There you go. If Hungary shocked France, here I will blame Southgate. I love that. I like that a lot. When you take your chances, Jimmy, you have a good chance of winning the game. Big, broad smile here. Look, I've got nothing against the French. I think they're a great side, but you love an underdog story. And it's Hungary 1, France 0. I jumped out of my seat, so happy for them. There's a lot of smiling faces here. Out of nowhere, there, we were totting up the possession and the XG. France were building and building and building. Counter-attack. Sucker punch. Best laid plans. Absolutely. Ain't football a great moment? Really makes you smile, doesn't it? Just scenes, Tass. Scenes. Absolute scenes in Budapest. My house in Budapest. My house in Budapest. Whatever that song is. Kimpembe wins it back. 49-52 gone. 5 minutes stoppage time. We said there'd be a ton of stoppage time. And there has been. Free kick earned by Pogba. We've played the 5 minutes minimum stoppage time. It looks like referee Oliver's going to let this next phase go. Great work by Shazalai to win it off Griezmann. And ladies and gentlemen, it is half time. Brace yourselves. It is Hungary 1. Look at those fans. Unbelievable. Hungary 1, France 0. One more time. Hungary 1, France 0. We've all been sat here, haven't we, adding up the group of death, assuming Hungary were going to finish with 0 points. Well, look, they could still get an absolute tanking in the second half off Mbappe, Benzema, Griezmann and Pogba. But what a moment. There is Fiola, the left wing back, the most popular man in Hungary at the moment, because he has given them the lead. 61,000 in the ground. Oh, brilliant for the Hungarians. Unbelievable. Just what we need after last night, 100%. Imagine if England were losing to Hungary. Wouldn't be good, would it? I love the way he smashes up whatever it's that poor lady journalist on the table there. Look at the limbs. Brilliant stuff. Oh, don't say that. This reminds me of Denmark-Belgium, where in the end it did turn around, didn't it? Hungary did well against Portugal, fell apart when Portugal scored. And they never got in front, did they, Red Revolution? Whereas they have got themselves in front today. Hungary won, France nil. Let's crunch the numbers, and then I'm going to take a couple of minutes break before we continue. On the XG, 0.37 to Hungary, 0.92 to France. 30% possession, 70 to France. 7 shots to 3, 2 on target. But look down there, 2 big chances to France. 1 big chance to the Hungarians, and they have stuck it in the back of the net, and they have stuck it to the French, aren't they? Brilliant stuff by the Hungarians. Let's get some Hungary flags in there. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. The reaction by the reporter on the French pitch was comedy gold. The French will be made to rue these chances. Let's see. Let's see, indeed. It could all be very boring in the second half, and the French come back. But as it stands, Hungary won, France. Then I'm going to take a couple of minutes, get your thoughts in, get your questions in, and we will discuss more after the fact. I'll see you in a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere, guys. I mean, you can, but make sure you come back, because the stream will be returning in a couple of minutes. If you haven't already, and you're not going anywhere, hit subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications on the Benjamin Bloom channel. Like this stream. Keep your comments coming. And if you want, you can give it a share. And what better place to go and share than over on Twitter, where you can find me at Benjamin Bloom. Lots of stuff goes down that feed. And if you ever need to contact me, the DMs are open. Forgive me, it might take a couple of days to get through all of them. At Benjamin Bloom on Twitter. You can also support us over at our Teespring store, www.benjaminbloommerch.store. Don't forget the 2 M's in a row. Buy yourself a t-shirt, a mug, phone case, hoodies, all sorts of good stuff over there. Great way to represent our community over here. If you do get something, make sure you send me a picture over on Twitter, in fact, and I will get that retweeted. You can also support over on Patreon, www.patreon.com/BenjaminBloom. A direct way to support my work here monthly. Get yourself a little bit of extra content each month. And thank you to everybody on Patreon. We really could not have got through what has been happening in the world without you. Before we return, get those comments filled up. Questions, topics, etc. And enjoy the rest of the stream. Here we go. And we are back. Welcome back. It is, very surprisingly, Hungary 1, France 0. Incredible half-time score there. It looked like we were ticking towards the French taking the lead towards as that first half ticked on. But Hungary take the lead at the end of the half. Viola with the goal. Please, just quickly, it's not mentioned in the advert there, follow on Twitter and Instagram on social media as well, at Benjamin Bloom on Twitter. Let's get your comments going here. The live subscriber count, by the way, 17,380. 20 away from being able to change the ticker down there, which is always a nice moment. Anyway, let's get into the comments. Said this to you before, mate, but we know the only stats that matter. I important distinction there, El Loco. There's a difference between the most important stat and the only stat that matters. Yes, goals for and against is the most important stat, but not the only one that matters by any stretch of the imagination. We've got lots of Hungarian flags coming up in the chat there. Congratulations if you're a Hungarian fan, which Richard might well be. And I won't try and pronounce these names. There we go. Hope Hungary go on to win this now. Could they? Could they? It'd be the shock of the tournament so far. We have had the Finns beating the Danes, haven't we? But this would be something a little bit different, wouldn't it? Chris, good spirit by Hungary after what happened against Portugal. France looking better than Ronaldo's mob, but missed chances. Defensive lap. Cat amongst the pigeons. We like the cat amongst the pigeons. For the moment, Chris says very sensibly, for sure. Should be a reward for the best support. Yeah, only if all the stadiums are open. But yeah, it's great to see, especially given the stadiums have been closed for so long now, or at reduced occupation. It's great to see a full stadium bouncing like that, isn't it? Great to see how much the channel has grown. Remember when you hit 10K? Yeah, I think it's probably about last season, hasn't it? 10,000 we were at on the subs. And we've nearly doubled it, haven't we? 17,000. Love to get to 20,000, but need your help. Need you to keep watching, keep commenting, and we'll draw other people. Taking inspiration from Michael Owen. If France don't score in this game, they will lose. Can't argue with that. That is incisive, factual commentary there. I feel like France need to sub off Pavard. Not convinced by him. He was great in the World Cup. I remember him cutting in and scoring that curling shot. I can't remember which round that was in, but there you go. France behind. Hungary 1, France 0. They do, in the group of death, still occupy second spot. We go back to England again, which we always end up doing. So as it stands, England, if they did win Group D, they're not top of Group D at the moment. So if they did beat the Czechs, they would win Group D, and they would, as it stands, play France. But of course, now we have a situation where the Germans could go up to 3 points. Although remember, France would be above the Germans on head-to-head, wouldn't they? So all very, very interesting in that group, and lots of stuff pointing towards England, if they do win Group D, ending up with a lovely, difficult draw there in the second phase. Unless this is all part of the Southgate master plan. Another stinking draw with the Czechs and get an easier, they would probably end up against the Spanish or something and lose to them. But you know, imagine going against the Swedes with their ultra defensive style in this tournament. Welcome, Helen. Nice to see you again. It looks like they're just doing a piece on the Welsh on the BBC. It's interesting, isn't it? Because the Welsh have got 4 points and their fans are really happy. The Scots have got 1 point and their fans are pretty happy. The English have got 4 points and their fans are not happy at all. Different expectations, different drinks for different needs. Right, half time. A couple of plugs here. 5 o'clock kickoff for Portugal, Germany. We'll be here at 4:45. We'll try and grab some food in between the two games. And then we will see you for a knockdown, drag out, giant against giant there. Portugal versus Germany later on today. The Spanish with 1 point. Sorry, the Portuguese. I'm seeing the Spanish on my screen. That's why it's confusing. Portuguese with 3 points. The Germans with 0. Could you imagine? Hang on, let me just work this out. Oh, no. I was going to say, could you imagine the Germans get knocked out today? It can't happen, though, can it? If the Hungarians win this game. If the Hungarians lose, the French are on 6. That'd be really interesting. Imagine that, guys. Let me put that table up again. if the French come back and win this one, no, they still wouldn't be out, would they? Because they can still beat the Hungarians. You know the Germans are getting through, don't you? I don't even know why I'm trying to persuade myself and convince myself, but there we go. How are we going to do the 2 games at the same time? I don't know, Liam. Depends how you lot want me to do it. What we'll probably do is we'll call it a super stream and we'll double screen it, and I'll focus on one game, but we can flip back and forth, no doubt. Just in that Hungary are leading. Bit of a smash and grab, but it's all good fun. Here, Budapest, Hungary 1, France 0. Keep your comments coming. Keep your questions coming as we get ready for the second half in this one. Those double up games start to happen very, very soon, don't they? Tomorrow. We've only got one sitting of games tomorrow, so there'll only be the one watch along. Italy versus Wales and Switzerland versus Turkey at 5 p.m. tomorrow. The Welsh are pretty much through. We're just organising everything there. Let's just bring up the table for that group. So if it goes to form, perhaps the Italians go up to 9 points. The Welsh stay on 4. But remember, the Welsh draw against the Swiss is very, very helpful there. And then so is the goal difference for the Welsh in terms of second place qualification. Remember, 4 points should be enough for qualification in third place as well. If you just scan down the groups, you can already see plenty of people on 3s there. The likes in third place of Finland, Austria. In those groups, no one's going to get more than 4 points in fourth place, of course. So you would think that 4-point number, well, wonder how many groups will get third place on 4 points. We'll find out. Lots of guesswork going on. Now, will you stop? Brilliant. We were talking about Gorilla Monsoon the other day, weren't we? Who's going to blink first, Parker or the Carnes? The Carnes. They've got the money to blink first at Fulham. They'll end up paying him up, won't they? Ultimately, they'll have to if they want a new boss in there at Fulham, unless they stick him on gardening leave or something, which would be very, very childish. But there you go. Ken, welcome along, buddy. Just watched the England-Scotland review. Refreshing to see a balanced review without the noise. It's hard, isn't it? Really, really hard. I literally got comments, Ken, on my Twitter feed yesterday saying, you know, oh, woeful, embarrassing. You know, how could I sit through all of that? It gets very, very extreme very, very quickly. When in truth, yes, it wasn't great, but it's a group game with a clean sheet and there's 4 points on the board. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm trouble with my jaw and my neck again today. All very exciting leading into next year's World Cup. Yeah, we can do it all again next year. Joy of all joys. The traditional English disappointment. Right. Looks like we are just about to kick off in the second half. It's Hungary 1, France 0. Can they hold on, Hungary, for a famous win? Then all they've got to do is get something against the Germans and they'll probably qualify. Easier said than done. Kimpembe to Varane. We've kicked off 45-14 on the clock. Looks like a lot of the Hungarians are still in the bar over half-time by the look of it. Do I think Southgate will inject some passion into the team? Seems like he was trying to remove it all week, Helen. Constantly talking about not playing with emotion and, you know, staying calm against Scotland. But if you're accusing them of not showing any last night, then I would tend to agree with you that it maybe a little bit of emotion mightn't have been a bad thing last night. But come on, Hungary. You let me know in the chat. Shall we leave our bias against the door? Should we go full pro-Hungary in the second half here? We'll get our egg on our face if we do, won't we? With the quality in this French team. What's interesting, Sean, about Shahid Khan is the link up with NFL and Premier League and Fulham and getting NFL to London and things of that nature. So that I actually find fascinating. With the what's the NFL team that the Fulham owners, Jacksonville, is it? I can't think. But yeah, that fascinates me. Although after the Super League stuff, Mbappe tries to get him chested down. Shazali half leaves it, but he got a little bit lucky as well. Warnock for England. I'm all over it. Up the Hungary. Come on, Hungary. Jacksonville Jaguars. Yes. And am I right in saying they were so bad that they got the first pick in the draft, but they then got the best player in the draft, right? All good fun. Whose name I did know, actually, because I listened to a podcast about it. Lawrence, is it? Passed. Mbappe, Pogba. Great feat by Pogba. Pogba, great looking cross. Good punch by Gulaski. It's driven in low from Dinya. Rabiot. Rabiot gets it back. Varane, Pavard, Pogba pulling out right again. Pogba. Beautiful feat again by Pogba. Pavard. Pavard crosses in, and I think it's out for a corner. Loved your video about Ishmael and Albion for what it's worth. I've been hearing Ishmael and Moat is close. Yeah, I've been hearing similar things. We'll see how that one pans out. Could be an interesting one for Baggies. Corner, France. Griezmann puts it in. Flicked on at the near post. It's gone loose. Half cleared by Kleinheisler. Here's Griezmann. Crosses left-footed, driven in. It's going to go loose, is it? And they've won it back. Kleinheisler does well, actually. Here's Nasho coming down the right-hand side. And that's a nice one into the channel. I say a nice one. Dinya just shepherding the ball back, and Lloris comes out and clears. In his performance shows how important fans are in football. Certainly helping them. It'll be a long 45 minutes for Hungary. Yeah, right. Well, Ken, they've done 5 of them. But considering there'll probably be 5-minute stoppage time, we can still call it 45 minutes. Viola was in there again. It fell to Nikolic, and he tried to feed it out to Viola, the goal scorer in the first half, and he was in again. If they could have completed that pass there just across the box. Hungary have given a great account of themselves so far. Yeah, they have. Just that collapse against Portugal was a bit brutal, wasn't it? Here comes Kleinheisler. Does Griezmann foul him? No, Griezmann takes the ball off him fairly, says referee Oliver. Here's Pogba. Pogba, little ball out to Rabiot. Back to Pogba, who's ever-growing influence in his half. Pogba tries to poke it through, gets the bounce back. Pogba hits the shot low. He was kind of slipping as he hit it, Paul Pogba. And Gulaski lets it go. I think he's annoyed that he slipped. Kind of beats the turf there. (51-12) on the clock. Hungary 1, France 0. Varane wins the header. There's a foul. Going to be a French free kick here. Yellow card comes out. Botka, the right-sided centre-back, has been booked. And he joins Pavard as the only other player on the yellow card. Just goes through Mbappe. Free kick to the French. In it comes. Headed clear, though. Hungarian counter-attack, anybody? Here comes Salai v Pavard. Does Salai get fouled? Do you know, I didn't think he did. But he's drawn the foul off Kimpembe there. Fair play to Salai, who's led the line well, hasn't he? Said that 2 or 3 times today. He's already going down, but he knew what he was doing there, Salai, didn't he? Good work for his team. And let's keep watching that clock. 52-33. Hungary 1, France 0. Keep your comments coming, guys. And do make sure you have hit like on the stream and hit that subscribe button. See if we can get to 17,400. There you go. There's a bit of payback. Kimpembe realises he's playing with a Premier League referee today. Feels the contact, goes down, draws the foul for the French, who come away through Lucas Digne down the left-hand side. Pavard, Griezmann on the right-hand side. Wants to go on his left foot. Kleinheisler doesn't show him. And the Hungarians just nip in there. It's Nikolic, who, remember, came on as a sub for Szalai up top earlier in the game. Here's Varane. Kimpembe. Digne. Nice back heel by Mbappe for the 1-2. Digne does really well to keep going down the line, but his cross is loopy and easy for Gulaski, who is now the captain since Szalai went off together. Let me know your thoughts. They've lasted out 9 minutes so far in this second half. 1/5 of the way through it. Don't watch that clock if you're a Hungary fan. It'll go slower and slower and slower as the half goes on. If you're a French fan, it'll seem like it's moving in fast forward. There is Olivier Giroud, an option from the bench. Phil, expecting lots of cramps and interruptions. Well, Hungary should play on that, shouldn't they? The dark arts, but I'm sure some cramps and some drinks breaks can be invented, can't they? Just to stop the flow of the French. Varane wins the ball back, tries to clip it forward down the line, but out it goes. Griezmann throws it into Pavard. Kimpembe, Rabiot. Mbappe. Rabiot. Back to Digne. Hungary in a nice mid-low block. Everyone back behind the ball. Pressing nicely as well. Pogba. Pogba knocks it back. Pavard. Varane. Rabiot. Benzema. Varane. France racking up the possession here. Here's Pavard down the right. Pogba. Pogba crosses left-footed, headed away. And good play. I think it's Kleinheisler. Wins the free kick. Just stole it. Quickly drove away. Takes all the pressure off his team. And Rabiot Rabiot commits the foul. Lots of French fans here. Look at that beautiful sight. And we're going to get a substitution here for the French. Ousmane Dembele comes on for Rabiot. And we'll see what the system looks like now, whether it's going to be all out 4-2-3-1. I'm not going to write Dembele into my system until we see exactly where he lands on the pitch. Seems to have gone slightly right. Could be more 4-2-3-1 looking system now. Will that open it up for the Hungarians to take advantage on the counter? We will find out. Here they come. Switch of play looking for Fiola, the goal scorer. He'll be walking 10 feet tall at the moment. Here's Schaffer. Into Fiola. Ooh, could he have gone down there? Fiola to Schaffer. Left side of the box. Inside. Curly. Ah, poor. Salai, who's played well this game, but just shanks that one. And wide it goes. Ousmane Dembele. So the sub on. Right winger, says transfer marked. See where he drops in of Barca. And, of course, a teammate of Antoine Griezmann. Dembele wearing number 11. We've got a relatively wide shot at the moment where Dembele is literally just waiting out on the right-hand side. So it could well be 4-2-3-1 shape now for the French. Here is Dembele, rapid. Dembele, great feet by him, drives the shot. Great start by Dembele. Saved by Gulashi. He looked really lively there. Oh, wasn't saved at all. Smashed the outside of the post. I didn't see that quite right. Oh, how unlucky is that? Great play by Dembele. Does Gulashi leave it, or is he just not getting to it? No, he's trying. Definitely doesn't leave that one, does he? So it's not a goal. It's not a corner at all. Goal kick. The ball hits the outside of the post in capital letters. So this could open up now. Yeah, Pogba looks right next to Kante. Here comes Kleinheisler. Crosses in low, or Varane cuts it out. Nikolic was arriving there. I must admit, this is fun from Deschamps. So we've got Benzema as the number 9. Griezmann behind him as a 10. Mbappe down the left, Dembele down the right. And a double pivot with Paul Pogba in the double pivot. Oh, this should be open, shouldn't it? Nikolic down the right just slips over. Varane takes it off, and Varane looked like he got fouled, but the ball went out for a goal kick, and the linesman pleads the 5th on that one. Oh, Kleinheisler's cross does clip the hand of Kempembe, who does have his arms behind his back. Not in natural position. You can Liam a shout out here, because this did come in before Rabiot was substituted. So there you go. He agreed with Deschamps on that one. Although not all players get subbed for being ineffective, but I think he's probably right, isn't he? Impressed with Hungary, trying to get another one. think we all underestimate them. I think it's a mixture of our expectations to the French parlaying into that a little bit as well, isn't it, Ken? Schaffer just slowing it down. Big one from Orban down the line. Easy one for Varane to just nod away. 61 on the clock. Pavard leaves that one for Dembele. Dembele inside Benzema. Dembele. Poor from the Barca player, the substitute. And it's helped down the line. Hungary trying to break with Schaffer. Varane is taking no chances there. Boots it out. Great stuff from Deschamps to stretch it a bit, says Brian. Will he leave it open for the counter, though? I think all the neutrals hope so. We'll get some end-to-end stuff. Look at that. Look at the end behind the goal there, Budapest. Bouncing. Looks like they've well and truly got their singing end sorted out there. Now here come the French on transition. Griezmann, Mbappe down the left. He's been quiet this half, hasn't he? Mbappe, Griezmann. Griezmann, horrible cross. All the way out it goes. Amazing crowd scenes. France look like they're panicking. You see, the master plan, Jay, from the French is they're trying to finish second because they want to get the English, you see. Some nervous-looking faces in the French end there. Here is Fiola. Cleared. There's that motorbike again, which often makes an appearance in my streams, doesn't it? 63:05 on the clock. Keep your comments coming. Have your say, share your knowledge, drive the debate. Fiola throws it in down the left-hand side. Headed on by Kante. Kante inside. Benzema. Kante. Kimpembe. Digne. Benzema sort of tackles himself there. Here comes a Hungary break. It's about 6-on-1 in the French favour, and it's easy for Varane, who does make defending look quite easy, doesn't he? Kante drives forward. Mbappe down the left-hand side. Mbappe into the box. He's just not been there in the second half. Mbappe has easily taken off him by Nejo, the wing-back. Foul, but referee Oliver plays the advantage. And Pavard makes the foul. In the corner there. Salai leading the line again. Draws the foul. Yeah, fair call. Protects the ball, knocks it ahead, waits for the contact, goes down. He's done it 2 or 3 times, but gets his team up the pitch, relieves the pressure. Kills a little bit of time, doesn't it? Hungary playing like they're the favourites. France got the underperforming virus. Oh, yes. Yeah, the old, we don't want to win the group. I think you just got to go ahead and win your games, haven't you? Get mixed up controlling it. Salai crosses in. It's easy for Lloris. The set play goes into the box. The Spurs keeper grabs that one. Booted away. Ooh, and they're giving chase here. Mbappe has won it in the box. Mbappe now. Mbappe works Nejo half clear. Griezmann! And the French have got the equaliser. Hungary 1, France won, and it's the pace of Mbappe that does for Hungary there. It's not the best defending you'll ever see. The French end celebrates. Hungary won. France won. Mbappe catches them out, doesn't he? It was just a long ball forward, and it's this sheer speed of Mbappe. In fact, it's Lloris just boots it down the ground, and they let it bounce. Criminal. Mbappe runs in behind, works Nejo, who did follow him. Then it's a wafted foot by Orban. It's not well defended at all by the Hungarians. Just caught on the hop. And he just knocks it straight into the path of Griezmann. He just bangs that home with the left foot. Hungary won. France won. And France go to the top of Group F with that goal. But the Portuguese play later on tonight. Your comments in on that. No. There you go. Cursed. Woof and oof, but R.I.P. Hungary. Their shape was so good all game. They leave 2-on-2. Yeah, there's two mistakes in there. But once they've let the ball bounce, they're chasing their tails, aren't they? League One type goal. Well, there you go. Mr. Pants scores. Of course he does. Of course he does. We never got an answer on that, did we? But there we go. Let the ball bounce. They're on the back foot. I think the annoying thing is sometimes you're stretching to try and clear it. You do more harm than good, don't you? But you can't not play the ball. But it's not being in control of the situation, isn't it? As soon as you've been turned, and especially with someone like Mbappe, you've just got to try and get what you can on the ball because he's going past you if you don't. Here's Dembele, fouled by the goal scorer for Hungary, Fiola. Free kick. Dembele looks like one of these wide players who literally every time he gets the ball, he's just going to run from outside in by the look of it. Free kick to the French. 68 on the clock. Whoever it was mentioned the Denmark-Belgium game. Is it going to be the same pattern where the underdog goes ahead? And in the end, the quality, I know that was a Kevin De Bruyne masterclass, wasn't it? But you take the point. Free kick goes in from Griezmann. It finds Mbappe as well, who couldn't angle the volley back. It's a good delivery, isn't it, by Griezmann? He'll consider that a chance, Mbappe, won't he? Just couldn't change the direction of the volley, but decent set play worked in there. We're going to have a drinks break now. So some stoppage time will go on at the end. Let me know how you see this panning out now. We're just coming up 69 minutes. And the Hungarians come over. It's Adam Naj who let the ball bounce possibly in the first instance. Nejo then tries to catch him. Mbappe holds it up. And after the wafted left foot by Orban, or right foot even, it's easy for Griezmann. He just runs onto it and sticks it in the back of the net with the left foot. And France equalise. Deschamps celebrates the goal. So do the French in the France end there. And it's Hungary 1. France 1. Energy drinks being taken. And there is the slow clap again that we saw from the Icelandic in 2016 from the Hungarians. The French are having a lovely old time at the other end. 70 gone. We are still breaking. 32 degrees in Budapest. You fancy playing in that? Dr. Orban, it's my life. Dr. Alban, wasn't it? I know you're quoting the player. What a song. Oh, Bits has still got France to score 3 and win. It could happen. They'll just be hoping for a second goal, the French. Benzema. Griezmann out on the right now, the goal scorer. Pogba. Kimpembe. Varane. Dembele down the right, dribbles again. In it goes low. It's going to fall to Griezmann again. Edge of the box. Griezmann goes down. Free kick. Referee, did he play the advantage or didn't he? I think he did, and Kante took the shot on. Pogba not happy with this decision. Nikolic had fouled Antoine Griezmann. I think Pogba will be saying to Kante, why did you shoot? Obviously, if he smashed the ball into the net, he wouldn't be saying that. But for all his brilliance, Kante, not known for his goal scoring, is he? Gulashi. Nash has got it at the back now for Hungary. Goes long. Swept up by Kimpembe. Given away, though. Hospital ball into Pogba, and the Hungarians have won it back. Nash, Kleinheisler. And they're both getting in each other's way there. And, of course, the irritant that is Kante in that central midfield just nips between the two of them and flicks it away. They've got it back, though. Great sight to see both ends bouncing here. One blue, one red. One goal apiece. Pogba wins it back, although he couldn't stretch and keep hold of it. And now the Hungarians got a bit of an overload there. The shot's deflected and it's saved by Hugo Lloris. Salai had it edge of the box. 3 players diving in to charge that one down. Pogba into the channel, headed away. Do you know what? The Hungarians are just coming back into it now since the substitution and Dembele coming on. Haven't had a lot of the ball, but building up a little bit of a base now. Oh, was that 1992? God. I remember that song. It's in the left back area. Shazalo. Fiola. Salai. Kante with him. Kante just sticks his foot out and knocks it out for a throw-in. And here comes a double substitution for the French. We're also going to get a Hungarian change as well. Off comes Schaffer for the Hungarians. On comes Sherry, number 10. Sherry, I don't know. My Hungarian's not good. Pogba has come off and Tolisso has come on, number 12. I think I saw Giroud as well. Yes, and Benzema has come off. Didn't see Giroud come on, but there you go. There he is. Giroud on for Benzema and Tolisso on for Pogba. And France have now made 3 changes. Giroud, of course, of Chelsea. Tolisso of Bayern. Crossed in from the left from the Hungarians. Easy gather for Lloris. As we come up, 80 minutes. First touch for Sherry. But the French have it back. Varane. Pavard. Dembele. Given away by the winger. Salah. And given away then by the Hungarians. And Dembele has it back. Oh, very messy. And then he gives it straight back to them. Sherry comes flying down the left with the best intentions, but runs straight into Pavard. And now here's Griezmann on transition. Griezmann. Digne. Mbappe. Tolisso. Griezmann. Tolisso. France down to walking pace, but keeping the ball. Pavard. Dembele. Sliding tackle, no foul on Dembele. Throw in to the French. Pavard throws it in. Varane switch. Tolisso. France building up a bit of territory, a bit of possession here. 77:40 on the clock. The Hungarians 13 minutes and change from a point here. Kleinheisler fouled by Kante. As we go over 78 minutes, it would indeed be a great point. I'm sure the Portuguese and the Germans would agree it was a great point as well. They would have possibly been expecting to see the back of the French today. And they still could if France could score in the next 11 and a half minutes plus stoppage time. Gulaski. Orban. Naj. Back to Gulaski. Jess protecting the ball, keeping it amongst the keeper in the back three. Kiel in a little bit of time. Orban. Killed quite a lot of time with that. It's worked out to Chazalo at left centre back. Naj. Nikolic. Probably the longest the Hungarians to hold the ball in the entire game, but it's given away. And now watch the French try and lump all over this now. Here is Digne down the left. Digne, Mbappe just behind him. Back into Kimpembe and Varane. Pavard. Varane. Lots of space for Tolisso. Griezmann, switch of play. Dembele, 1v1 with Viola. Doubled up now. Dembele tries to get the cross in. Viola does well. That is going to be a corner to the French. And we're now past 80 minutes on the clock. Hungary 1, France 1. Corner for France. Remember, their goal was quite rudimentary, wasn't it? Just a kick down the ground. Can they seal the deal with a set play. Griezmann, left-footed, easy for Gulaski, who says no thank you to the quick kick out. Takes his time, get everybody forward, and just bowls it out. Knocked into midfield. Fair bit of space there for Kleinheisler. Pace has just dropped. I guess the temperature is helping with that as well, or whichever way you want to look at, hindering that. Here's Griezmann. Griezmann slips it on. Here's Mbappe. Mbappe saved. Oh, a chance for Kylian Mbappe there. He was in 1v1 on the angle with the left foot. Gulaski stands up well and makes the save. Hopefully we'll get a replay of that one in a minute. Chance for Mbappe. Here's Dembele down the right. Dembele, lovely ball inside. Shooting chance for Tolisso. Easy save for Gulaski. He's played well, hasn't he? The Hungarian keeper sold down the river. Do you know what? That was a better chance than I thought it was. I thought he was well outside the post there, Mbappe, but he wasn't. And he can't find the corner. I think, is he going for power? Possibly. Straight at Gulaski, who kind of is just making himself as big as he can. I think if Mbappe finds the far corner there with less power, he's scoring, isn't he? But he went for power and Gulaski made the save. 82-33 on the clock. Hungary 1, France 1. Kleinheisler is he getting some treatment here or is he going off? Fiola's taking on more water. They're all trying to just get hydrated now. I think Kleinheisler is coming off. He's just having an energy gel. And Lovrencic is going to come on. Off comes Kleinheisler. Kills a bit of time. On comes Lovrencic. Number 14. Georgi Lovrencic of... He says, slowly trying to find it. So this is a fullback on here of Ferencvaros. So whether he's just going to sit in midfield or we see a little change of shape, we'll find out imminently. Yeah, perhaps Najos has just been pushed into midfield and Lovrencic is going to go and play right back or right wing back. Looks like it, yeah. Kimpembe. Tolisso. Lovely ball. Switch of play to Dembele. Touch. Dembele. 1v1 with Fiola. Pavard. Varane. Kimpembe. Out left to Digne. First time cross headed away by Orban. 84-32 on the clock. Will there be another goal in this one? Let me know what you think down there in the chat. Well, you're there. Hit that like button. Varane. The ball out to Dembele is on all the time. He's literally just stood on the touchline. And if they can accurately ping it out to him, he'll be open. Hungary trying to stay narrow. And obviously that positioning flies in the face of being able to do that. Naj, good play by him. Oh, that's poor ball by Nejo. But he's won it back. Naj, excellent. Knocks it out. And they complete the clearance now. Can Salah give him something up the pitch? Not with service like that. Pavard. Tolisso. Varane. Clipped out left for Pavard, who no chance of controlling it, just manages to sort of head it on, but surrenders possession in the process. Viola gets a little bit lucky there, comes in, tries to prod it up the line, but gets a lucky bounce and out it goes. 86 on the clock. Going to get another French substitute here. 1, 2, 3, number 4. Lamar of Atletico is coming on. Thomas Lamar, wearing 8, replaces Ousmane Dembele, who's only been on 10, 15 minutes, hasn't he? Dembele shrugs his shoulders. Don't know whether he's hurt. I hope for his sake he is in some way to save the embarrassment there. Or whether Deschamps just wants to go back to the old shape and sturdy up his midfield. Ooh. Gulassi closed down by Giroud there. Doesn't get the bounce he wants, but heart in moment there. Heart in mouth, excuse me. Be interested to know whether Dembele was hurt or not. Griezmann encourages everybody to come and press the throw in and try and hem Hungary in. 87-34 on the clock. Foul on the edge of the box, which will give a free kick. It was Kante driving forward. Just Zalai came out and nicked it off him, and he catches him ever so slightly. Yeah, drawing at Portugal, same time. Well, we've gone 4 minutes further than that. We're at 88:08 now. Well, to be fair, you might have sent that 4 minutes ago, Capscow. It stays 1-1. Portugal beat Germany. Germany draw with Hungary and go out. Well, Germany couldn't then finish above, depend how many points they've got. Yeah, they'd only have 1 point. Probably would, wouldn't they? Is that likely, though? TikTok draw coming up. Can the Hungarians hold out? 88-40 on the clock now. Lamar, diagonal, looking for Digne. Poor ball. Headed away by Lovrencic, the substitute, who's now playing over at right wing back. On that side, Hungary 1, France 1. Tolisso. Varane out to Pavard. Attack versus defence now. Griezmann. Kimpembe. Digne playing on the left wing virtually now. No defensive responsibility, seemingly. And the throw-in has gone Hungary's way. 89-22 on the clock. Salai has gone down with cramp. And the Hungarians are going to try and see this out now. I wonder how much stoppage time we'll get. 89-45. Anyone, you got 15 seconds to guess. Go on. How much stoppage time? 4, 5, 6? The higher the number. The more likely, I think. Mbappe's trying to run through there. And Mbappe has been penalised for fouling Botka, who got his body in the way. He wasn't going to outrun him. 4 minutes stoppage time. Well done, Liam. And Leeds 2021. Just the 4 minutes. I thought it might be a bit higher than that. There's the downside of, oh dear, we're getting some bottles thrown on the pitch. I won't lump in an entire nation to whoever threw that bottle that actually looked full of liquid on it. But yeah, we don't want to see that. Kimpembe goes down. Selai fouls him. 50 seconds of the 4 minutes minimum stoppage time. We haven't had a late goal yet in this tournament, have we? Pavard. Certainly not a decisive one. Varane. Lamar. Kante. Pavard. Down the right. Kante. Lamar. Kimpembe. Forward from centre back. Knocks it into Tolisso. Kante. Pavard. Varane. Digne wins the header. We play on. 91-50. France trying to find the space. Hungary closing down. Pavard tries to cross. It's blocked. Pavard loads it in. Big header clear by Schlazali there. Mbappe pops up on the right wing. Does well. Kante. Pavard. Can he get the cross in? Back to Kante, who draws the foul. Good play by Kante. It's going to be a free kick to the French in a jolly dangerous position. Kante knew that tackle was coming. Gets his body in the way. Takes the hit and goes down. And here is a nervy moment for the Hungarians. Free kick to France. On the right-hand side, Griezmann's going to swing it in with his left foot. This is a really dangerous one. Griezmann steps up, curls it in. Oh, keeper spilled it. It's gone loose. Griezmann again. And two Hungarian players managed to get themselves down in the box. You knew that was coming, didn't you? And Oliver has to stop the game. 21. Botka goes down. He was jostling with Kimpembe. As the clock ticks on, 93-35. We're not going to play 94 minutes. We're going to play more like 95, 96 now. Michael Oliver deep in conversation. He has the ball in his hands. I don't know where he's going. I think, is he going to give a drop ball? That was where the game stopped. Shazeri is certain that the ball should be given back. On we go. Play switched. Probably still got about 90 seconds left after all of that. Kante, Digne, everybody back for Hungary. Chipped in from the left. Oh, headed goal was by Varane. Headed wide by Varane. And I think that is that. Oh, well played. Hungary won. France won. A brilliant performance by the Hungarians, who go undefeated against the world champions France. Fiola, bit of a smash and grab in the first half. Fiola gave them the lead at the end of the first half. The French were quite brave, stuck Dembele on, managed to get the goal back, and the Hungarians stuck in there and managed to get themselves a 1-1 draw. Let's have a look at the numbers, and then we'll have a look at the table. Excellent performance by the Hungarians to get themselves a point against the world champions France in the group of death. Sorry, I've lost the numbers. Here we go. Let's get them up on the screen. As you can imagine, XG heavily in France's favour, 1.97 to 0.44. So is the possession, 67 to 33. So is the shot count, 15 to 5. Corners 3 to 1. 4 big chances to 1. So all of those underlying metrics were in favour of France, but they could not turn that into a victory. Well played, Hungary. There is the table in the group of death. So France have 4 points and their remaining opponent is Portugal. Portugal already have the 3 points. They play Germany very, very shortly. We'll be here for that one in about 50 minutes. Hungary obviously have 1 game left. The head-to-head is good now against France, but they're 3 points behind. So that's unhelpful. The head-to-head against Portugal is not good because they lost to them. Look at the Germans, bottom of the group, but I'm not even going to say it. Don't write off the Germans who play at 5 p.m. and could jump up there to 3rd place. And if they beat Portugal, would essentially be 2nd on the head-to-head. And of course, if England win their group, they would then play Germany. Apologies, we seem to have some spamming going on there. We just used the timeout there for 5 minutes. Maybe France are not completely unbeatable after all. Well, they didn't lose, but they didn't win, did they, Chris? Thank you, everybody in the chat. Well played, Hungary. Fully deserved points, says Liam. Hungry horse, absolutely. Well done, Hungary. Well done, Hungary. Well done, Madam Naj. Had a good game, didn't he? Sat in there. And it did some nice tidying up towards the end there. Good performance by Naj of Bristol City. France looks stunned, but how we all love Hungary now. Good game to watch. Brilliant stuff. Well done, Hungary. I think we are all there. France's result makes me feel slightly better about yesterday. Indeed. Thank you, everybody. He wanted a shout out. He got the sin bin. Should we play the jingle, Chris? Let's do it for old times. In he goes. Right. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to quickly go and grab some dinner. And then Portugal v Germany. Bring it on in about 45 minutes. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for the support. Well played, Hungary. Hungary won. France won. Catch you all for Portugal, Germany. And it's a big over and out. And thank you from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.